Hello, 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 everybody. How are we all tonight? Hope we're doing good. I just need to get things going here. Make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, we can. Hey, Metal, how are you? We are doing Luigi with Man-at-Arms tonight. And I just want to get a couple extra pics of Luigi. I have him by himself, but I want to get, well, I still want him by himself, yeah. But I like a couple with his haunted mansion look. Not that there's much different except for the vacuum cleaner that sucks ghosts. So I'm just and I'm sharing this out right now too. I'm in the middle of getting it to where I can do that. Uh, I'm fine. I finally made it to the character creation section. Ah, awesome. You know what? Well, you're writing it right now. I know I'm going to be your test subject one night. Probably not tonight. It's definitely not ready for that. Uh, grab that link. Give him that in Discord. My internet shot. Well, sorry to hear that, Alpha. And there we go. On. And let's turn that on so everybody can see. Oh, and let's change our setting to our headphones here. That way he'll
Rick!
do. Hey, Metal. I was just about to expect that, so you did not startle me tonight. How are you?
I am all right, as I say said in the chat.
Man. Yeah.
I am working on this thing I've been working on and mostly kind of just waiting for Genshin to go live.
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to do last night, but I didn't do before I went to bed. Is get that downloaded. Because I swoop.
Oh, I forgot to mention to you this yesterday. I guess it's not really the business of everyone in chat, but some of them might know him because they might have watched our playthrough, or maybe they know of him because they read X him as Chaos. But you know Buck.
Yeah.
You've spent many an hour playing a tabletop game with him, and even some video games. You know, he was with us for
Resident
Red Dead
Evil.
and stuff.
Yeah, Red Dead.
Yeah. His dad passed away Sunday.
Oh, sorry to hear. Pass
Yeah,
on
of
my
cancer.
pass on my condolences to him.
I will.
I'm not sure whether I have him. I know I have him. I think on Discord here.
I think you do. If not, I believe his DMs are just open. You have him in multiple servers. You could just find him there, but
Yeah.
he's in both the Vomitorium and the X Dynamous Chaos server.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. How are you? Mike Walters is in the chat. Okay. So I think I finally got everybody or got all my whatchamacallit up.
Yeah, he's going through a rough time, but I figured at least some of the people. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends, so I figured I'd at least pass it on to some of the people who know him if they wanted to give condolences or not. It hit me pretty hard because I lived with them for quite a long time, and I've known Buck since junior high, so like I was pretty close to his dad.
Yeah, you actually met his dad, hung out with him, talked with him
Oh yeah, yeah.
for
I've spent late nights with him while he was drinking, both talking about our like families and stuff like that. Bonding. I'd send him messages for no reason, just like prompted Facebook message, like, "Hey, how you doing? How things are going? I saw this thing, reminded me of you." I thought
yeah,
I'd have enough time to go see him because like their original timeline was kind of similar like with your dad, where at first it's like it could be anywhere between now and 5 years, right? But then like the more you go, the shorter and shorter that timeline keeps getting, and then eventually, especially if they don't keep up with you every single day, the timeline disappears before you know it.
yeah. Well, the last time with my dad, it was they said 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, it always
Yeah,
starts with that longer expectation, and then it crunches and it crunches and it crunches. And since I'm not there with them, Buck even forgot to update me until after he passed. That like maybe I could have rushed up there and hung out with him one last time, but I thought I at least had until the summer.
yeah. Well, my dad actually lasted about 3 months because I was told in April, and he passed away in July. I
Yeah,
was, so that's approximately 3 months. So and that's more, and it was only that short because he started pooping the bed, and he didn't want to be a pain on anybody. So with having signed up for the government assisted suicide.
yeah. In this case, it was just the illness progressed to the point
Yeah,
that it took him. They didn't. He wasn't like euthanized or anything. It hit.
yeah. I figured. Well, I guess somehow I figured that would
Yeah.
be the case because, well, not that I know his dad, but I'm not sure whether he's still living in Texas. Was he living in Texas? I'm not
No, they're
sure.
up in Minnesota at the
Do
moment.
do they even have that type of program there, the government assisted suicide type thing, or do you even know?
Well, they don't have like a program that's similar to like MAID or anything, but if somebody is in like a catatonic state or whatever in a life, there's the old pulling the plug, which isn't just unhooking them, though that it is in a lot of cases. Sometimes the family will be like, they're not going to come back. It is best to just end it. That was not the case with him. But it's really only available for people who are functionally at the end of their life anyway. Which I'm sure your dad probably would have qualified, but he seemed a little too cognizant for most doctors to agree to that here in the States.
Yeah, he was
But
definitely.
Canada, I know you specifically have a program where people can sign up for that.
Yeah. Okay, now it's trying to decide
There's,
what
they're a
aspects.
little overzealous with that, They're kind of prescribing and homelessness as well.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's got quite that bad. I know that is a stigma with it, but and I could be wrong about that too, about how bad it's gotten or not gotten. No, I'm trying to figure out
Because
how.
like on paper, I agree with the program. Like if somebody is maybe, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like you're not doing them any favors by keeping them around. But they do seem to have been doing it for people who are otherwise healthy enough to live.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit not there all mentally.
Yeah. Main reason I brought up though is that he could probably use everybody's like thoughts and prayers. So it's been pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. I wish I would have known sooner that. Or did you tell me earlier about his dad being ill or
I
not?
did. When we were talking about backstage, um, about like the RPG campaign, the old one, and going up, and I said one of the reasons it wasn't just Dillard, but also Buck isn't like in
Okay.
the position to be playing because of the stuff with his dad and everything. Well, I did bring it up to you, but that was more
Okay.
private.
Yeah. And I didn't remember. Well, I half remembered, I guess, because.
Yeah, yeah,
But then again, I know I was probably just thinking that you probably would have brought it up, so it's just me being idiotic. Too much crap going on in my own life at the moment. Or maybe it's not enough crap. You know what I mean, I guess.
yeah.
Just with my whole job situation at the moment.
See, we're all going through it. We're all going through it.
Yeah. Now, trying to figure out what elements to
Yeah.
combine
I'll
for
tell you
the.
one thing though. If they were still in Texas, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, because you would have been staying with them?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I moved out for a while before they decided to move, but they were kind of already thinking about moving anyway, so that was one of the incentives on why I moved in with my family.
Yeah.
But after everybody split up, if they weren't moving, I probably would have just went back to living with them.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we
And while
want?
they probably would have been fine having me up in Minnesota,
You're not
and
sure
they
to it?
didn't exactly have the room for me to be up there with them, unless I wanted to live out of their RV.
Yeah, and not like you really wanted to travel. Did you really want to travel that way too?
Eh, would have been that. I mean, it would have been roughly the same as the trip that I took to get to Arizona. Right?
Okay.
It's still roughly like 1,700 miles. I probably would have enjoyed the weather better up there too.
Do you like
Like, sure, it gets freezing up there, like really really cold. Probably colder than it gets where you are because you have that like warming effect from the lake. Your weather was always pretty close to what mine was in Dallas when we compared it. But it was still seasonal, and I like seasonal weather. I wouldn't be mad when it's like below zero and there's snow everywhere. I'd be the freak who's out there making snow angels at the age of like 30 something.
I've done it a couple times in my later years. If I had kids or something, I'd probably be willing to do it more, but it's like
I'd be like, stand back, kids. Let me show you how it's done. First snow angel's mine.
but because I don't have kids, I don't really want to do all the cold stuff. So, because I don't like the cold, I didn't mind it as a
Yeah.
kid. I didn't mind it as a kid, probably because I was a kid. But as I grew older and older and realized how much of a pain it is, well, the cold and then the snow on top of that, or the snow, how much of a pain it is, and just having to put all those layers on to keep warm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember. that this happened since you don't live there, but it was kind of big news. But it was maybe back in 2020 or 2021, around the COVID time, right? There was a blizzard that basically hit a lot of the U.S., but it hit Texas harder than most places, in the fact that like knocked out most of the power everywhere. Right? It was like a super big deal. I was living with Buck at the time, and it was not that long ago. I went out. My brother calls up, "Hey, are you already heading out?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm already heading out," and we just went out and played in the snow. Just full grown adults. I got my trench coat on and everything.
Hey, Tim. Hey,
The
Tim
ice
says,
storm. I guess you could call it an ice storm. It was actually pretty close to a low scale blizzard. It wasn't a high like what people think of when you think of blizzard. It was like right there on the edge, but it was actual snow. It wasn't just like sleet or slush or anything. And we got at no less than a foot. Some places it was higher. You were there when it happened. Okay, so you remember. I actually had to shovel some driveways at that time, but that was great. He only worked 2 days that week. Nice.
well, that's good but bad.
I worked many days that week because I got to shovel some driveways. Probably the only time I can remember actually shoveling a driveway in Texas. Even when it snows, it normally never snows that much that you actually have to shovel a driveway or a sidewalk. Like it'll stick to the grass, it'll build up there. Maybe your driveway might be icy, but if you turn your car on, it's going to melt underneath it. That's how it usually is. And a lot of times it's not even full snow, it's just like slush. But that was like a real legitimate snowfall. Of course, I was also more north, I think, than Tim, because Tim was on the southern end, so it was probably a lot worse where I was than it was where he was.
Yeah. Tim says, we had no power at work, so it was like trying to keep frozen food for lunch. We had a barbecue.
Oh, nice, yeah. But up in like the Dallas area, you often got some type of snowfall, even if it was just like a light flurry. It was technically central, yeah, but that's still like in the southern half compared to where I was. Like Dallas is pretty far north. The only thing more north is actually leaving the central part of Texas and heading into the Panhandle, which they get snowfall far more often than even we did. But Dallas is also high elevation. It's high elevation and in the plains, which is why
Yeah.
our weather was often very different than most of Texas.
I was at the time. I think I was listening to or watching a couple that were doing doing like making a home out of whatchamacallit, storage containers. Like that goes on the
Yeah,
boats.
I've seen those type of things. Yeah, shipping containers.
Yeah, shipping containers. And they're in Texas, and they were affected by it. So
Yeah, never got the chance to go to Louisiana. Oh, Louisiana's pretty good. As a visit, you wouldn't want to live there, but it's great as a visit. I wouldn't mind doing a meetup there sometime. Best part of being in not just North Texas, but North East Texas is that we're so close to Louisiana
uh,
that We got a lot of just good, authentic Cajun food. And Cajun food is pretty good. I can't really eat the stuff that has like crawfish in it or any shellfish in general. But there's a lot of good stuff that doesn't have that. Though that is like half the menu. So you have to know what is and isn't in it. There's so many haunted places. Yeah. But if you know where to look, there's like Dallas is also chock full of haunted places. But it's cool to see the various hauntings in different areas. Is Luigi Cobra Commander? No. Man-at-Arms.
Yeah, it's hard to tell all the things at the moment.
You're in the drafting phase.
Yeah, well, I'm using the 80s helmet for Man-at-Arms. I'm using the headpiece there, and I'm trying to add Luigi's little visor part that's part of his hat onto it. And I more put Luigi's face, eyes and mustache, big nose. And then I'm trying to put uh, trying to put Duncan's uh, the chin piece or whatever, or the mouthpiece, whatever you want to call that thing sticking up on his chest.
Oh yeah, it's technically a guard.
Yeah, chin guard or whatever.
Is it Salado? Salado. I don't remember how people say that, but okay, yeah. Then if you see the temple area, that definitely is
Hello,
central.
everybody.
Hey, Vince.
What's Mario and He-Man characters? No, Rick matching up this time.
Luigi and Man-at-Arms.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
guess
there's a
that
lot
makes
of
some.
towns like that though in Texas, Tim, where it's like a two cop town. You could walk
Uh,
across it in no time, but it's like it's been there so long. There's so much history to it.
I wanted to ask, um, who's the most famous healer in gaming?
Most famous healer in gaming
Yes,
is
yes.
probably Eris Gainsborough.
Now, cause I think the medic might be more famous than Aerith Gainsborough. I know of Aerith Gainsborough. I know that. I wrote that down in the video script I'm working on. But I'm like, is it like I think the medic might be more famous.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's possible. It's like there's a lot of people outside of PC gaming that don't know about the TF2 characters, even though TF2 characters are so popular. Anybody who PC games knows about TF2.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people who don't even touch video games that know about Final Fantasy VII. So it's possible. I'm just not sure.
Mm. Oh, because I video script I was recording before I came in. That's why I didn't. That's why I came in late. But I said the medic is more famous than Aerith Gainsborough. So I said that in the video. So I just want to check.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It could. I don't have a definitive take on whether it is or not.
mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I literally record those lines before I record those
yeah.
lines of videos and then
Well,
before I came in.
yeah. Well, the thing is, you probably didn't research it, which is all right.
I, I, Yeah, I knew who the character was. I just assumed the Meg is more popular because Team Fortress. I know more about Team Fortress 2 than Final Fantasy. I assume most people on PC do.
Yeah, maybe specifically PC gaming. I don't know. Seven particularly is very popular. Especially the thing is like TF2 is aging, so it does still have its culture. It still has a lot of people playing it, but
Mhm.
it is less popular than it used to be, and it's internet meme stuff now. Final
Mhm.
Fantasy VII got a remake now that's in the cultural zeitgeist, so even younger people know about eras that may not know about the medic. I don't know. It could go either direction, really. Because yeah, again, we think like the medic isn't a lot of memes, so they could have also learned of it from memes, even if they haven't played TF2.
Yeah, because I literally stated in the video that I recorded that he's more famous than Aerith. So I'm like,
Yeah, well, you
so,
could
so,
be right, you could be wrong.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I think you could at least gamble on it. It's probably right enough, even if it's not actually technically factual. It's like I don't know if anybody could prove it one way or the other without doing a mass survey.
Oh,
Tim, you have no idea how often that song pops in my head.
no, but then again, I
I'm
never
guessing
really.
nobody else knows the song, but he says, "For all you know, you may be right," which is the hook line from "You May Be Right" by Billy
you
Joel.
yeah, you may be right, you may be wrong, or something like that it goes, I
I know it's
believe.
"You may be right, I may be crazy, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for." Such a great song. But yeah,
Uh,
the end of the chorus goes, "You may be wrong for all I know, but you may be right." That song, like anytime somebody says you might be right or you may be right, that song just like pops in my head uncontrollably. It's just there now.
No. Uh, Also, I finally made another video for my alt account, which is going up on the 22nd. I'm like, I'm getting back into the swing of video production. So,
well, that's good.
Cool. I actually have to do some video editing soon. I should have done video editing last week, but I needed to make my own sound effects. And I had to make really, really loud and possibly concerning sounds that I didn't want to make while other people were here. And unfortunately, other people were here for the entire later half of last week through the weekend. And even yesterday on a weekday. So I had to wait till today. One of them, like I needed like clanging metal sounds that would be appropriate for like a warehouse, right? Like running into storage containers, shipping containers, running on a metal catwalk or whatever. So I needed to use the garage door to record these. It's like I need to wait, but I got them today, so I'll be able to do the editing soon.
Is this for your campaign or something else?
No, this is for X Dynamis Chaos. It's for a comic dub. I'm doing another series of shorts. I've had all the voices I needed for over a week now. I just when I went to go do it, I'm like, I need sound effects. Why did I not record the sound effects already? But I got him.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah, it's for the Awesome Max comic. You know, the one with the wrestler superhero. I don't know if you remember that one.
No.
I don't know. I heard. Yeah. I never heard that.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Wow.
it's one of my stories.
Oh, oh. I think I remember now. Yeah. I don't remember the name, but I do remember the concept. He's kind of fewer popularity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He gets stronger the more hype he has.
Mm. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's 5 to 6 page short
It's coming back to me now.
about him, and I'm dubbing it so because I need more stuff on the X Miss Chaos YouTube channel.
Okay. 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 Also, isn't Bane basically a Luchador on design wise?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Uh,
heavily inspired by the Luchadoro.
mm. I know. One of my characters, Tiger Man, is going to be a big Luchador fan. So I'm like,
You
so
know,
I'm
I
like,
kind of figured that just from the description.
just from the description of what? Wait, what?
When you described Tiger Man, it's like it felt like somebody who would be like a luchador fan or whatever, you know?
No. Okay. Like he's a fan of in-universe Luchadors.
Yeah.
So like,
Whenever I get to making the actual series for Awesome Max, when I find an artist who wants to do it, one of his buddies is going to be a luchador who's not actually a luchador. In fact, he's not even Spanish; he's Italian. But he also was somebody who defected from the organization that Max is kind of riling up against. And when he was part of the organization, they're like, "Oh, yeah, you're Italian, but you got to be a luchador because that's what sells your character." Which is kind of a commentary on how things used to run back in the day.
no, I forgot. What's the name of the Rick's character that can control bugs?
Oh, Insecto.
Insecto. He can control insects, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure they're controlled, but command, and they just naturally
Uh,
do. So
yeah. Mm,
I guess in some ways one might consider it control. I guess that's how you want to
mm.
define control.
Yeah, it depends how much nuance you want in it. But it's not like he's telepathically forcing the insects to do things.
Yeah.
Mm. I mean,
Which
I have a
it's crazy. Technically, Aquaman can do that with fish. He just chooses not to because he respects the fish. So he just asks them to do things instead.
I have a villain plan who telepathically forces humans to do anything she wants. So, and also then mostly just uses them to force them to kill each other. So,
Okay. That's definitely should be a unique. Well, I shouldn't say unique, but
well, not unique. I mean, was not unique. I think it's been done before, just not never as a major villain that you're supposed to care about.
uh,
Like Doctor Psycho's done that, but does anybody care about Doctor Psycho? Like that's like a Wonder Woman villain, Wonder Woman's main villains, but no one cares about Doctor Psycho.
probably at one point some
I don't
people
think
did.
anybody ever cared about Doctor Psycho, to be honest.
No one cares about any of Wonder Woman's villains really outside villains really. That's
I mean,
outside of
even when they
Ares.
were new, right? Like, because you could say after they've passed, people don't care about them. Like, they never stuck. Even at the time, I don't think anybody cared.
Well, outside of Ares, no one really cares about one villains.
Well, I'm not
People
even
like Cheetah.
sure. Yeah, Cheetah. I don't think people really care for Ares that much, actually.
Yeah, they just know him because he's a god. Like, it's not that they care for him. It's just like it's easy to remember because he's a Greek god.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas Doctor Psycho is a midget dude with
Yep.
telepathy.
Like, I would say that the only one they care about is Cheetah because it's the only one that requires them to remember or care if they
Mhm.
do know about Cheetah.
Yeah, but it's like no one remembers Doctor Psycho. It's a midget dude who was telepathy. No one that's not
Yeah.
interesting
Well,
apparently,
actually, I was
according
thinking.
to the writer.
I was thinking he was somebody else's villain.
Wait, why did you think that?
Probably because I've seen him go up against somebody else more times than I have Wonder Woman.
Because most because he ain't never read Wonder Woman comics on her own solo titles.
Yes, I have. I have several comics. I have like
Yes, of anybody I would believe, Rick has read Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
I have like probably 20 or 40 or more. Well, probably
But
more.
the thing is none of the writers who write Wonder Woman even know anything about the character. They just have their own politics.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Well,
always been
true
that way.
about
um,
everyone.
No, but
uh,
with Wonder Woman's case, it's always been that way. Even going
uh,
back decades, like even before I was born.
I would disagree with that. When I read Wonder Woman, there wasn't any politics involved in it. It was just
No, no, uh, uh no, not talking about like actual headlines. Talk about political ideologies. Not talking
yeah.
about the
I
head.
mean,
What's going
what
on in the
Wonder
headline.
Woman does kind of always represent the zeitgeist of female empowerment at the time that that run is happening.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I know 90s, early
But I think
thousands.
she needs to, though, right? Because you have to think that these characters aren't actually characters. They kind of are during their original run with their original creator, but then they quickly stop being characters and they become icons.
Especially with
And
DC characters.
yeah, so they have to kind of like, well, specifically DC characters are icons,
Mm,
more than even say like Marvel or whatever, because of how
mm,
DC handles them. So they have to like
mm,
reflect the imagery of their icon in the current time that they're being written. And
mm.
since Wonder Woman's entire icon is female empowerment, she's more susceptible to that influence than say a lot of the other ones. Like Superman's
Yeah,
icon is
exactly.
pretty much like hope, right? That's
Exactly.
not as susceptible to things.
I know,
Well,
and
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why I never liked Wonder Woman because she doesn't really have an identity outside of female empowerment. That's kind of that.
uh, well, I'd say during the 90s, early thousands, she wasn't about that. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, she was. She was just what female empowerment was during that time.
Yeah.
Exactly, and then that's the
During the
thing.
90s,
I don't
female
get.
empowerment was girl power. Like that's what it
Oh,
was.
Yeah.
and that's kind of that's why I never really liked the character. I like the
Uh,
character because when we have a character's entire identity is their gender, that's kind of hard to relate to.
uh,
You don't really see a lot of male characters like that.
I know around that time she died. She died, or they made her the goddess of truth for a while in the pantheon, the Greek pantheon. Um,
Mhm.
I must admit, I can't remember a lot of her stuff from back then, but
They're not very memorable.
yeah,
And
that
it's not just you. Unless you read them recently, they're not very memorable.
Mm.
uh, like
Like
I can.
I probably bet I could probably bet that when I actually be able to get the finance to be able to make comics, I will probably make better female characters than that because I can actually make
I mean,
characters
I
that have
highly doubt
personality
it, but you can try.
aside from just their gender. Like I don't even think of the gender first when I come with a character. Like a lot of times, I think the gender like second after the main
Yeah, no,
gimmick.
but that's also part of why I don't think you'll make a better female character.
What's the issue? Why?
Well, I mean, part of one of the problems with most of the female characters now that are being made is the fact that people don't think of their sex first, and they basically just write men and put women in their place.
But I'm not really writing a man. I just think of the gimmick first, and then I add the gender on top of that. I don't actually think of when I'm coming up with the character. I'm not actually thinking of the gender actively. I just think of the gimmick.
Yeah, but somebody's sex is actually vital to how they play through a story.
I know. I understand that in terms of like reproduction, obviously. But I'm like,
No, I mean about like imagery, right? Like it's about how they interact and interface with the world in general.
Yeah, you may think of the gimmick first, and that's I guess all right. But it's how will the woman do the gimmick compared to a guy? It'll be different.
Well, it's not even just the gimmick, too, right? What type of gimmicks fit a man or woman are a little different too, and whether something is more subversive or not. And it's all about men and women interface with the world differently than each other.
no, I know that. I understand that. But I understand that. Like for example, me having a woman get mutated to a giant roach monster was something like that. Normally happens to male characters, but like I'm like, well, I just don't care to have it be a woman this time
I
because
still think
I
of
just
all
think
the ideas you've told me, that is probably your best one.
Yeah. And the other thing, I watched the old Wonder Woman TV series too, the original one
I liked the old TV series a lot.
with Linda Carter. Yeah, I like that.
It didn't. It was very divorced from the comics at the time that it
I
was
know.
running, though.
Same, I
But
know. Same
probably
same with the
for the
Hulk TV
best.
show. But
Probably
look,
for
that's
the
a
best.
matter of fact. I think the Wonder Woman's TV show is even more divorced from the comics than the Hulk show was.
Oh, by far, by far. But it's also what made the show good.
Yeah.
Because at the time that while Wonder Woman was being reinvented as some kind of female James Bond or something.
She was kind of almost like a magical girl, actually.
No, I'm talking about in the comics
Before.
at the time.
Oh yeah, in the comics, yeah, she was doing a lot of like undercover stuff for the
Because
U.S.
he's basically just reinvented as female James Bond because
She had
that
already
was the
been
writers.
introduced to DC
No,
by that point.
because that was the writer's idea of femininity at that time. So she had to be
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
just be a
but it
female
also
James Bond.
fit the continuity because at that point she had already been introduced to Washington D.C. She had started being involved with the government and stuff. Like, uh, it was a natural transition, but it was still very different than the comics from before that. Um, but they did quite a bit of that in the TV show too, sort of. She just kind of did it on her own. She was almost always on the airbase, but she was almost like a magical girl, kind of before the genre was really a genre, just over here in the U.S. And I know that Wonder Woman inspired a lot of the magical girl genre, including
I
like the
know.
costume change and everything.
Yeah, with her spin and all that.
Hmm.
Like what do you think is the issue with the idea of having a woman who has a suit that gives her the ability to turn invisible, and what she does with it is fight a bunch of tech CEOs
I
and terrorists.
don't think I've ever said that there's anything wrong with that
Like
idea.
it's like it's the what's being the concept of distortion, like one of my characters, like what's her being female going to be an issue with that premise?
No, it just depends how you handle the character. It is going to be the
Because
thing, right?
it's
In
like
fact, actually, I would say that is a gimmick that probably works best for a woman, especially if, aside from the ability to go invisible, she is a normal woman, maybe athletic, but still, the invisibility allows her to subvert combat that would otherwise put her in jeopardy, right? Like she could take somebody out without them seeing her.
yes, it's all stealth. I mean, she even uses poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I plan to have her use poison then a lot, and she has to play mind games with the opponent.
I think stealth stuff is a great way to have like a female action hero, because then you don't have to worry about how is this like 120-pound woman going to handle like a 6'5", 200-pound man, right? Like, well, she
She
doesn't have to
doesn't. It's all
handle him
traps and
directly because
stuff.
it's stealth. Yeah.
Mm.
And in situations like that too, your average woman isn't as alert as your average man in most security situations. But somebody who is in that situation, women tend to be more alert than men because they tend to be more aware of their fragility.
Let's see. Tim says, ironically, she was always getting tied up and spanked during her earlier years. That's Wonder Woman.
I know
Uh,
because the
Oh yeah,
guy wasn't BSM. That's why.
yeah,
yeah. It was literally the writer's fetish on page.
yeah. And then he says, gimmicks are hollow. And then he says,
I agree.
a roach monster with feelings. And yeah, really, every superhero has some sort of gimmick.
Well. The original superhero, at least the original superpower hero, Superman really doesn't. But
I mean,
every hero after that has to
that
have
that
one.
his powers are the gimmick. It's just that everybody's done the same thing so often that it's no longer a gimmick.
Yeah. Him having powers itself was a gimmick. But
Yeah, and dressing up
So
like
we
a
could
straw.
obviously trace that back to the Princess of Mars.
mm,
And at the
yeah,
time
but the
too,
problem,
dress.
the issue with Wonder Woman is that her gimmick is that she's female, and that I don't find it interesting.
Yeah, well, at the
But
time there wasn't any superpowered. Well, there
but it
was
was,
very
but
few. There was very few. I was gonna say, I was changing my statement, or to the way she was. But then again, she's evolved over the years, changed over the years too.
now she
So
changes every 10 years, so
I won't
even
say
before the New 52.
I think
So
my problem is maybe her changes just seem more obvious to you, but that's kind of how I feel about pretty much all of the characters. Like, to me, Superman feels like he changes every 10 years. And that's coming from somebody who really likes Superman.
yeah, that's possible because keep retelling the origin. I didn't the post crisis continuity retells origin like 4 times.
Uh, let me. I can only remember three, but maybe there was a fourth one. But I'm not counting like else world type things. I'm only counting
Mm,
in the main continuity. I can only think
mm.
of three. But one of them was when they tried to like reintroduce Supergirl, so they had to like go back through the extermination of Krypton
Mm.
and the bottled city of Kandor.
yeah, because you got to explain how Argo City got away or how
Mm.
she got away. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then again, in some ways they have it related to her related to him, but it would almost be neat if somebody on the other side of the planet, although they were a closer society, was having the same seeing the same things and they weren't listening to him either, you know, and he did the same thing but with his girl, baby daughter or whatever. They could have done almost the exact same thing, but not instead of Jor-El, some other Kryptonian. But and not have it, like his brother, or do the whole city that Brainiac took.
Yeah, but one thing you gotta know about what I want to create is that I'm not trying to create icons. I just want to create like actual characters. First
You
and
want to know
foremost.
something? That's all anybody's
same.
ever done. That's all.
Yeah, it's like even the people who started these characters that became icons at DC, they were making characters when they first made them.
Mm.
the corporate structure turned them into icons.
Well, I wouldn't even say, well, that I can agree a little bit, but at the same time, they only became icons because everybody started liking them and all that. It's, the corporate, you know, people try, like look how Marvel, they've tried to do it with Miss Marvel and all that, or
Well, what I'm saying
Ah,
about them
Captain
becoming
Marvel.
icons as opposed to characters is that they don't need to have a consistent chronology of their character development. They represent something more, and that's why they can be flexible between runs, right? And that's just something that happened naturally at DC from having people take over characters over time and also resetting their universe and having different
countless,
continuities and stuff
yeah,
where
countless
they've
times.
become these icons, right? They're
Mm,
not a character with a history, they're representative.
Yeah.
exactly, because that, yeah, but
But the
like
creators of them
notice
didn't intend
how
that to be
often
the case. It just
that
happened
like
over time.
no
Yeah,
like
that's
notice how
more what.
often DC notice how often DC has Elseworlds. Do you know how
Yeah.
many times like they done so many out of continuity stories like Elseworld stories to the point that the Elseworld stories kind of the main thing. I mean, at least with Marvel, you don't really have multi-issue runs of Elseworlds except for Ultimate,
They had a
which just
few.
make everybody evil.
Yeah, well, guess what? All the your quote unquote Elseworlds are usually, most of them are one shots. Yes, a few get popular and they do more with it, but Marvel has their own
What if,
Elseworlds. Yeah.
but what no, but like how popular is What If? Like no one can really name What If stories the same way you can easily name DC Elseworlds.
Well, you
Um.
can, but a lot of the what if stories, the vast majority of them are what if this character was this character, right? Like,
Exactly.
what if
Some of them are just straight up
Thor was
jokes.
Hulk or something?
Exactly.
That's the majority
Exactly.
of them.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna
And then
say
the
the
rest is just
also the
jokes.
majority is what if something different in the continuity happened
Yeah.
too.
What if
Yeah,
Uncle Ben never died?
exactly, or something like that. Yeah, or a huge bunch of them I know are just jokes.
I wouldn't say they're even jokes. They're just kind of exploring alternatives. Like, it sounds like a joke retroactively, maybe to us at the time, but like when they're writing, like, what if the Hulk was Spider-Man, right? They're not writing that as a joke. They're exploring the idea of like, what if this person was in that place?
Mm,
Yeah.
They're no more or less serious than the comics were, like the mainstream ones at the time.
mm,
But if you look at the comics that ran next to them, they also look a little goofy and quirky because that's just how the comics were at the time.
mm.
So when we rewind the clock, we need to look at it in the culture and time that it took place in.
Yeah.
Mm.
So technically, like I said, I think What If is very similar, but like the Elseworlds, they're doing What If Superman was Tarzan,
But no,
or
I don't think they've done that. They did Superman
No,
Earth's
but
End,
they
they've
did
done
do that.
which
similar
they
things.
had
So like Red Sun Superman is an Elseworld, and yeah, did they do this Tarzan one?
Yeah, it was.
no.
Yes, they did.
I'm gonna
They
check.
didn't. They
Oh,
didn't say
Rick's probably right.
they didn't call him Tarzan. It was, I believe, in one of the annuals. They were doing all sorts of things, and like I said, it's he didn't grow up. It wasn't. They didn't call him Tarzan, but he grew up. In the wild with maybe not apes. It was tigers or something like that. I forget exactly, but the Tarzan basis. Maybe it was bears. I forget. Like it's been a while. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it was.
The what if Superman had been raised by apes?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it was ape, some wild animal.
Yeah.
And like I said, I believe, and I could be wrong, it was in one of their annuals. One year, all their annuals were what ifs or
Yeah,
Elseworlds.
and they do stuff like that all the time. Like even like Red Sun Superman is an example of that. Where it's like, what if Superman landed in Russia and was raised by, the
Soviets.
Soviet Union?
Yeah.
Like they do that. I think if I were to even look back at the popularity of them, I think a lot of those what ifs from Marvel at the time were more popular than the DC counterparts. It's just the DC has some that have more lasting power.
Huh.
They've
Yeah.
adapted more of those too. Like there's an animation for like Red Sun Superman.
Yeah.
There's animation for the Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Strikes Again. I forgot what's called.
Yeah. They've gotten a lot of
Dark Knight Returns. Yeah,
yeah.
and that was Elseworlds.
Yeah. And then at the same time they've adapted some of these into their continuity of the the multiverse too.
Mm.
For
I think that was the worst part. Is like you do something that's just supposed to be like a what if or an else world, and they're like, oh nope, now it's part of the multiverse. Look, well, thanks. Sure made that special.
Although technically, what if was that from the beginning with the Watcher?
What if was kind of like in an ambiguous zone. They hadn't properly defined it yet.
No. Well, it's like
Not sure whether I have time to go over it because I want to get some colors in there. But what do you think of my?
And also,
Let me look.
yeah.
Like I know he's got huge biceps, but I almost.
Yeah, I
I
know the
almost feel
arm.
like
The arms I know are
Yeah.
well. The one arm that's like this is definitely off. The other one's not so bad.
Yeah, the one that's like that, I don't know, maybe just tuck the bicep in on the underside a little bit more.
Yeah. By the way, I decided to enter the Discord that does the translations. That does the fan translations for the Frank and Fran manga. I'm like, they are. Well, it turns out there are people who want to bang Fran.
I
So
would have assumed.
yeah, even though she'll probably experiment on you and torture you, but whatever.
That's probably what they want. People are into that kind of stuff, Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna judge because I am gonna judge, but it's still that's their thing, not mine. I don't care.
I think that looks a little better. I think that looks a little better, Metal.
Yeah. It actually looks like it's connecting where you have the shoulder now. I think that was the bigger problem before.
Yeah.
So yeah. It also kind of matches the width of your other arm more. I think the problem that you had before is that the forearm before you redrew it was like as big as the kind of like over armor piece was on the other side and not the forearm underneath it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to use green, but we are dealing with Mario and Man-at-Arms. So we're going to have green as a major color. So we're going to go purple. So we got to fit.
Purple.
We're going to fit blue in here, green, and I'd say orange for sure.
Well, you got to maybe get a little bit of that brown in there too, right? He's got a little bit of brown, but so does Luigi. Like the boots. The boots are the easiest one. They both have almost the same color boot.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about their major colors.
Yeah.
Because Duncan, Man-at-Arms, his armor is all, or most of it is um orange. Then of course Luigi's overhauls are whatchamacallit, green. I mean
Navy blue.
blue. And then
He's got
Man-at-Arms,
that classic Old Navy overalls.
yeah. And then Man-at-Arms, I guess skin suit or whatever you want to call it. For not
Tights. You
leotard
just call them tights.
tights are green, so which goes with Luigi's shirt, I'll say, and hat.
Yeah. And they both got a stash, so that's pretty easy too.
Yeah.
Though Man-at-Arms stash is a little more like a Tom Selleck's, while Luigi's got that whip up. But I see which one you chose to give it more of that Luigi flair.
Yeah, because and I did that more because there is in a lot of ways a lot more Man-at-Arms in this than Luigi.
Yeah. You got to have that Luigi pull through somewhere.
And again, that's
Oh,
why
see, I know what you do, Rick. I know what you do. You see that little orb, that little circle on the top of his helmet that you went with? You got to put a big green L inside of that.
Okay. Well, I know that's for the Luigi, of course, but I'm just trying to think what I was going to be calling this guy. Because I was going to put whatever his first name, whatever his name is, the first letter was going to go in there. But I just haven't figured that out yet. Anybody got any ideas what I might want to call this guy?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Luid-Arms.
Luid-Arms.
Yeah, it's not. I can't really think of a good name that actually combines both of their stuff. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very, very different names.
Well, then again, we're thinking Luigi and Man-at-Arms. We could go Duncan, which is a Man-at-Arms real name.
Duncan and Luigi really doesn't mix well either.
Yeah, well, I think it's a little easy. Or you could do Luigi.
What do you want,
and
Luke and Sam? Man at Plumbing. Plumber at Arms.
Duncan. I don't know.
Luigi.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard one for a hard on the name. Anyways, what did I do there? I'm not sure what I did there.
And they got to go off to battle. And he'd be like, but He-Man, I'm allergic to skeletons.
Um,
Yeah.
like but when I get done making this video, I'm probably going to have to start rebuilding the models for Romo and Krim. Like I got to rebuild the models for those two characters.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Okay. Guess we'll have the gloves white.
I'm probably not going to improve the models that much because again the reason why I made those characters to begin with because it's simple to make.
Yeah, and that's
But
good.
like but I do should I add more complex textures? I probably will some degree, at least for the environments, since I have a graphics card now. So
If you could do it, if you feel comfortable with it.
I hadn't tested trying to make the planet again, and then hope it doesn't crash this computer. There's a pretty good problem here, but at least I assume.
There we go. Let's see what color. Metal. What color? Luigi's eyes are blue, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. He and Mario are both blue-eyed bros. They're like lake blue.
And Man-at-Arms, it looks like his are brown. So we'll go with Luigi's eye color.
Yeah, I guess they're brown. I'd have to look at a newer one to see if they changed them. They're basically just colored in black in the original, which
Yeah,
usually just means they're standard brown eyes.
yeah. The bigger image that I got on screen here, or
Yeah.
the bottom one. I have that so I can zoom in on it on my desktop,
Oh, okay.
with a card giving it not just that, but there's more information to it. But that's the basic image, and it looks very. I From what I could tell, it looked brown. Didn't look blue, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Make that probably. Let's see.
Uh, Also, I
Let me
heard
step away.
heard that Mass Effect TV show is getting made, and of course it's gonna her of course it's gonna try to make it mainstreamify it. So I assume it's gonna probably mainstreamify it or somehow. So
Oh,
I'm like
they look black in this. Jeez, I was trying to zoom in on that to show, but I gotta.
I never got too invested in Mass Effect because I couldn't even finish the first game. The gameplay was just not that good for me. So
Uh, I'm not sure what to say to that. Sorry to hear that, I guess. Hey, Alpha, you got a problem with that?
I mean, I know it was just a modify. It was just a real time cold tour from a gameplay standpoint. I'm like, well, like, like a nice little republic. Yes, that's what that means.
A problem with what,
Because
Alpha?
because BioWare worked on Nice Little Republic before Mass Effect, so just kind of just made a real time Nice Little Old Republic, and then that's what Mass Effect is from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah, you see
I
there.
mean, am I wrong?
I haven't played them enough to know. And see there, metal, metal.
Is Metal even here?
Yeah, he looks like he's there. Maybe he went to get a coffee or something to drink or go to the washroom. Oh, and
Yeah.
I was at something from a few weeks ago on the Silhouette game. Uh, you guys probably did, but I said I had it, and I was at my storage unit today, so I figured I'd look for it. The crocodile alligator Megatron. Okay, so that's. I can't see anything. Well, I don't know why you can't see anything. Why is.
I could see, but I mean, I'm in the Discord, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the same on YouTube.
No. Yes, yes, what? Outcast? Oh, hey, Outcast. I will have to reload. Okay. So I don't know what happened to Metal.
Oh, I've returned.
Oh,
Oh, he's back. Yeah, because earlier I was talking about there's a Mass Effect TV show coming out, and I assume it's going to be casualized in some way. To
Oh
try
yeah,
to,
yeah. I think it's probably going to be trash.
but then again, I never got invested into Mass Effect anyway because I never even finished the first game.
I
The
love Mass
gameplay
Effect.
just wasn't wasn't getting any interesting to me. It was like it's basically like a real time Nice Old Republic, which is the
yeah.
game BioWare made previously.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did,
That would definitely be a good way of explaining it. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
but I didn't like the gameplay after that. The gameplay wasn't fun. So
I
that
don't.
like
That's understandable. It's not fun to you. I had a lot of fun with it, but
uh,
like anything, your mileage will vary.
Metal. If you remember a few weeks ago for the toys silhouette game where I said that
Oh yeah.
I had the crocodile or alligator, whatever it was, Megatron. I was at my
Oh, did you
storage
find
unit.
it?
Yeah, I was at my storage unit today, so I went looking for it.
You know, I think I've had that. I think I've had that exact one, and I had no idea it was Megatron.
Yeah. Now, the front piece of the mouth is. I have it, but it's it came
Yeah, yeah,
off.
no, no, but I recognize this. Now that I'm seeing you like hold it in your hand or whatever, and it's like not as like glossy as it is when you go and look up the image on Google. I think I've had that exact one. I think my cousin gave it to me, and I just had no idea who it was.
Outcast says, "Is that Plumber at Arms?"
That was one of the names I suggested. Yes. I've actually been thinking of replaying Mass Effect because it's been a while.
I was like, I don't know because like like I might have to be a entirely different class, something. The gameplay just wasn't really fun. It's just very kind of boring.
Yeah,
No.
it's a mileage will vary thing. I found the gameplay very fun.
Yeah, everybody's different. They don't make everything for you, Fitzjoseph. I know you wish they did, but they don't.
Yeah,
I never really got into 3 though. I do need to just do a finished playthrough.
I didn't even
I think
find
my problem
the
was
quest.
like it was spoiled for me.
I didn't even find the quests and stuff interesting. The conceptually they are, but like in execution, I didn't even find them interesting.
I wouldn't say I love the politics of the world because I don't really care about any of like what's going on specifically with the individual races, but I loved the interplay between the politics in the world. And specifically the decisions we had to make to solve it. I thought that was really fun.
You as a character had to make to solve it?
Yeah. He was Commander Shepard.
Yeah, but I think from what I've played of KOTOR 2, the decisions in that is more interesting in comparison.
I think they've about the same level of effect on things, so it really just depends on like what setting you liked more. I really like KOTOR and KOTOR 2, so you're not going to see me bad mouthing it. I think they're great games.
But I'm like yeah, but the gameplay is not the best things in either of those games, and that was like the main holding it back for me.
I mean, they're RPGs, right? Like Mass Effect tried to make it a little faster pace by turning it into
A
third-person shooter, but it's still like it stalls so you can make your decisions. Like you can send your party to do things. The game will basically.
I know, but like no, but it's not that. It's not that it's not real time. It's the fact that the abilities you get aren't that great. Like aren't that great. Like
and
they're reflective of the setting.
And it's not pink.
I know. But Billy's and KOTOR weren't that great either. So that's the thing. The abilities you get aren't that great.
Yeah, they were both reflective of their setting.
I know. It's like soldier. You do more damage with shotgun. Okay. Can I get crazier weapons? Like no. Can I knock enemies back my shotgun?
Yeah, that just sounds like the game's not for you. You know, like it's just not the type of game you're looking for. I think they did perfectly fine for what they were trying to do.
It's like in Fallout New Vegas, I can literally whenever I kill an enemy with an energy weapon, I can cause explosion if you get a certain perk, or make them blow up, or have a perk where you can you can knock the enemies back with your shotgun and stuff.
Yeah, those are like completely different settings, right? Because like Mass Effect is trying to give you more of like say a tonally grounded or realistic sci-fi experience, while that is not what Fallout is like interested in.
Fallout's very silly. It's all silly and all that.
I honestly, I think both of them, depending on the one you like, because there's certain Fallout games that I think stop being Fallout, but when they're doing what they do right, both of them are fulfilling their promise perfectly fine. If there's any complaint I think anyone has about the original Mass Effect specifically, it wasn't that there were lander missions. It's just that the Moonlander car was just
the tank was absolutely horrible
to drive. Yeah.
I kept flipping over. It's awful. I know controls of that is horrible. But even like the actual enemies in this game aren't the great best either, because they don't have a diversity of abilities. Like it's like a third-person shooter game, but I'm finding these boring ass enemies. Like,
Okay.
Tim's like, what does Fizz hate this week?
No.
It's a science fiction. It's a science fiction game set in future in outer space, and yet all one fighting amounts to guys with guns. Even if they aliens, it doesn't really matter. It's just guys with guns.
Okay.
It just like
That's
especially
not true.
I mean,
I guess
especially
if you haven't finished the game, I can see why you would have that perspective.
like especially when we get to like I remember when that mission when I went to the biotics layer, the people who want the biotics premises, and led by this guy named Kyle, and
Yeah.
and they wasn't even that tough. I'm like, what? Like,
They probably
He
weren't
probably
supposed
went in
to.
over leveled.
Yeah. Anyways, let me try and get to read some of these last.
like they were doing
tweets here.
it was easy. Like, what the hell? Like, especially since I didn't
Rick
even have an
wants to
epic
read
boss.
the chat.
Yeah, like
Okay, Tim is like, why is there pink? It wasn't pink, it was purple because I couldn't do a green background because I'm doing Luigi Man-at-Arms. Green on green, it's hard to see through. And Tim is like, why so negative? Outcast says, what is a talking topic today? I don't think there's any ever specific topic. It's whatever we get onto. Of course, I am doing my mashups between He-Man characters and Mario characters. Today it's Luigi and Man-at-Arms. And then Timothy answers Outcast saying, what to what to Outcast saying, what Fizz hates this week. And then Outcast is like, other than that. And then Tim's like, I guess Mario He-Man puts a gun to his head, says Tim. Outcast says, how about we try what Fitzchozo likes? And Metal's like, we tried. It doesn't help the conversation. That would be great, though, says Tim. Okay, we are through the thing. But before we go on with whatever, what do you think of what I've done so far? Obviously, got to.
it looks pretty good. It's not the greatest mashup you did, but it's mashup you did, but it looks decent.
I'm a little nitpicky on the colors, but it's all right.
Yeah, I'm not super sold on all the colors everywhere. I'm just like, sure. What else to do? I guess I could do the helmet the same color as the rest of the armor pieces.
No, I think the helmet needs to be green.
Okay.
I think we just need to mute that green a little bit more. You know, drag it down just a little bit in between Luigi and Man-at-Arms green. It's just a little too bright and saturated is the issue. It's actually even more bright and saturated than the green that's on Luigi.
Okay. Dark in the green a bit.
Yeah, just a tad. Just mute it out a little bit.
That's a little bit too closer to Man-at-Arms. I wanted to. How's that?
Oh yeah, that's much better. That is leagues better. It's no longer like an eyesore color choice.
Yeah. Tim is like, the design to me is not bad. Yeah. It's trying to figure out which elements of which character you want to do. And I'm doing this, of course, on the fly. People are talking, I'm talking, whatever.
Yeah, not a lot of pre-planning going into it.
Yeah.
I will say I think Katsuhisa should make his own tokusatsu manga. Like I honestly believe that. Katsuhisa clearly loves tokusatsu. How often he references it. That's the author
I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
That's the author of Frankenfran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, but like he consider how often he references Tokusatsu. Like he even has like Super Sentai roaches in Frankenfran. I'm not making that up.
There you go, Tim and Outcast. We got a topic for Outcast like Frank and Fran.
Not really. No, I'm not talking about
Every
Frankenfran.
time.
I'm not talking about Frankenfran Sifter. I'm talking about the author. Considering how much he loves Tokusatsu, I'm like, should he make his own Tokusatsu manga? Like he has other manga he makes, but he never made a Tokusatsu one. I'm like, why hasn't he?
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's pitched it and nobody wanted to pick it up. Who knows?
He's made other stuff.
A lot of artists, right? They have like multiple stories on the register ready to go, but they just end up working on whichever one like the magazine will pick up.
Like he's made Helen ESP, which is about some girl with psychic powers.
Yeah, like I've got a heck of a lot of characters. I can only do so much. And it's probably the same for him too. It's the same for you too. You've got how many different ideas? There's only so much you can work on a time.
I can't even make any of them because I don't have money. So,
well, no, technically you can make them. It's just you can't pay anybody to do it at this.
You can't make them to the standard you want them to be. Is the only issue.
Yeah.
But I can make whatever I want. Doesn't mean it's going to come out the way that I dreamed it's going to be, but I could make it.
But my point is more, you have a whole bunch of projects that you would like to do. And yeah, right now your biggest thing is money or whatever to doing them, because you don't have any or have very little of it. So there's always something that might stop you from doing one or various projects that you have. Outcast says that maybe making the canister yellow instead of blue. Yeah, I was just trying to go. I guess I could keep it the same color as the old one. I was just trying to make it a little different than thing. Well, I don't know. The orange, I guess it would be making it orange, but anyways, yeah. We're definitely not the people to ask why he's not doing something like that because we're not in contact with him.
And there can always be tons of reasons for any reason why somebody's not doing something.
Yeah.
I know, but
No, there. I passed a link on to Tim to answer his question.
What was Tim's question?
What's next? Yoshi / Battle Cat. So I sent the link to the second stream of this where you did Yoshi and Battle Cat.
Yeah. Tim's like, damn it. He already did it. No, next week, let's see. Next week, I'm probably, what do we got next week? How many more weeks?
Bowser Skeletor is going to be the last week, Tim.
We got.
Oh, it's Dry Bowser and Skeletor.
Only the head.
Yeah. Well, it could be some arms or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'll probably include Dry Bowser in my images. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3 more weeks. So we're Bowser and thing. I think next week is going to be Peach and Tila. either that or it'll be the week after. I'm not sure. Um, let's see. I'd like to do Birdo and Katra off air, Daisy and Shira off air. I'd like to do one more bad guy, I guess. So we got Spikor and I was looking at Ram Man. I think Ram Man was somebody.
Ram Man with Wario.
No, I put Faker with Wario.
Oh, you did. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just saying, because Wario rams people.
Uh,
It's what he does in the games when you play as him.
okay, I did not know that. It would almost make sense to put him, but he's not on Mario's team. He's more a bad guy, right? Wario?
It varies. Wario's on his own team. He works with whatever benefits him. Like, he was introduced as a villain for Mario in his first appearance, which was, Super Mario Land 2? Or 3? I'm trying, one of the Super Mario Lands. But then he also got the Wario Land games, in which stole his stuff, so then he went on a mission to try to get his money back. And sometimes he's nefarious, causing trouble in, like, the sports games. And, sometimes it's just like, I don't like Bowser, so I'm going to fight him. It's whatever.
Yeah. I was considering Ram Man with Donkey Kong.
See, Donkey Kong's kind of the same way. Though I would probably say Donkey Kong is a good guy slightly more often than Wario is.
No, it's way more. No, way more often. Yeah.
So maybe I might.
Donkey Kong's a good guy most of the time. He's only really a bad guy in like the very first Donkey Kong game.
Donkey Kong is almost always a bad guy when he appears in Mario. In his own games, he's like the hero, but he's almost always an antagonist to Mario when he shows up.
Yeah. Outcast says, how about, I think he means Evil Lyn with one of the Koopas. Yes, I already did that. Evil Lyn with Wendy Koopa. Wendy O. Koopa.
I would, though, argue that Donkey Kong is a much better person than Wario, because Wario is an awful person even when he's the protagonist. Which anybody who's played like the WarioWare games would know that. Though Donkey Kong, until like you get to 64, Donkey Kong's a very selfish character though. Like he's only doing it because the freaking crocodile stole his bananas.
I know.
He's actually very similar boat to Wario, because Wario only became the protagonist of his adventure because somebody stole all his money.
Yeah, but in the case of Donkey Kong, his motivation is more similar to Kirby.
Well, no, because the bananas are also the currency on the island. They're golden bananas.
I didn't know.
He had a hoard of bananas. He didn't even eat them all. Like, yeah, he eats them from time to time, but it's like he had a banana hoard. They went and stole his hoard.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so those are the bad guys. They stole from him. He's getting his stuff back.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's not like this heroic motivation. I mean, he is the hero of the story, but it's a very self-motivated story that you could still emphasize with. You're like, yeah, dude, I would do the same thing if somebody stole all my stuff.
So yeah, like the problem with combining these two properties is obviously in He-Man there is very few. Well, no, not He-Man. It's with Mario. There are very few heroes compared to
humanoids. Oh, well, heroes. Yeah.
Compared to Masters of the Universe. So, we have lots of, bad guys, If you know, like with rocket wrenches and stuff like that. And I'm not sure. Are they? Some ways they're working for Koopa. Does that make them a bad guy?
Yes, anyone worse
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Bowser is a bad guy.
Or you could at least say they're soldiers in the army. You know, like they're not necessarily directly to blame. They're doing their job, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you still have to kill them because they're in the way.
yeah. And that's more what I mean is like they're doing their
Yeah.
job, or they've been
They do have
constricted.
fervor. They do
Mhm.
champion Bowser on like we're with you. So they're not like blameless either.
Okay. Eh, I just wasn't. I
Just look at
wasn't
them the
sure.
same way as look at stormtroopers.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way of looking at them, like the same way as stormtroopers.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure whether they were constricted into the Bowser's army under protests or however you want to say it, or
No. If you're fighting them, they are the volunteer. Because we do see later in other games that you have things that are normally enemies do live in the Mushroom Kingdom in peace with other people. Like there's entire villages of Goombas and Koopas that aren't from Bowser's land in, like, say, the Paper Mario games and stuff. So they do have the option of not being an awful person.
okay.
But yeah, it's probably something you wouldn't know unless you've played the plethora of Mario games like I have.
Yeah,
Most people
yeah.
haven't.
I
So it's
play.
like, yeah, these are standard questions. They're
I've
good to ask.
yeah, I've actually played what you call it, Paper Mario a little bit. I never finished it because it ended up messing up on me. But
Oh yeah, the original Paper Mario was very prone to crashes. And some of them might even delete your save file depending. Like there are very specific points in that game where if it crashes there, it might actually delete your save file, like one in the Penguin Village. So it's very understandable that there's a lot of people that put that game down and never picked it back up again.
and of course, I tried to play it with like Game Shark, I think too, which
Oh, and that's just going to exaggerate the problem, yeah.
but
Those same crashes showed up too. People thought that it was just inherent to issues with the 64 as a system. Like, oh, maybe if you had the RAM expansion pack, they wouldn't crash. No, it was a problem with the game. They put it on the Nintendo Switch Online for 64 when they released it. Crashed in the exact same spots it always crashed in. They had to go in and manually adjust the game to fix it. And it's like, now that they've adjusted it due to people complaining, it's technically the best version of the game you could play is on Nintendo Switch Online. But the fact that it was crashing in the exact same spots beforehand told you that it was a problem with the inherent code of the game.
yeah. So yeah, like I said, there are less good guys in Mario games in the Mario universe.
Unless we count the Mario RPGs. Because Mario had a bunch of partners between them that were all eligible for good guys.
No. Well, I went and like of course I looked up Mario characters. I didn't care where they were from, so they didn't. They might have showed them and might not have. Like in
Like,
the
oh, actually,
Mario.
I could think of a Super Mario RPG character who would be great for a He-Man character, and I don't know why I didn't think about it. Uh, oh my God, Gino, right? The puppet would be great for Manny Faces.
Yeah, I might have him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I found him or not. But my big thing, of course, was I think even if you include the RPGs, there's not quite as many. So it
Well, there's never
definitely.
going to be as many because, like, the whole point of Mario is creating new enemies that are obstacles for you to get past. So there's always going to be more baddies than there are anything else.
Yeah, and that's all right. So it's made me have to, really think, like doing Trap Jaw with rocket wrenches, Beast Man with
Yeah.
a fuzzy, you know. you know, you know. I got a plethora
Yeah.
of
Because
bad
like
guys.
every new enemy is a new mechanic, basically, right? Like, oh, I can't approach this enemy the way I've been approaching the other enemies.
Like I could probably do Skeletor's whole crew with the bad guys if I wanted to.
Oh, and then some.
Yeah,
Like you could give each one of them 5 different combinations, and you still wouldn't run out.
yeah. But I'm also trying to do the best, for lack of a
Yeah.
thing. Like, and that is where it becomes hard for trying to figure out what character to do. Like, because I did have a hard thing. Okay, who do I combine Beastman with? And the closest thing I found that I thought was appropriate was the fuzzy. I'm not sure whether you think there's something else better or not, or
I mean, the problem is there's just so many options out there.
no.
Because I'd have to narrow. I hate it because like Mario's got thousands of enemies over the years, or at least over 8,000. Maybe not thousands, but he's probably gotten over 8,000 enemies total over the years.
Yeah.
Because of all the different spin-off games and everything that's ever been added to it. It's probably only a couple hundred or though if you count the main series, but it's
Yeah.
definitely tipped over 1,000 if you count all the spin-offs. So it's like thinking like, what is the best thing to put in there? Oh, I don't know. Right? Like you could have put Mauser and Beastman together, and give him Mauser's glasses. Like there's so many things you could have put in there.
Mauser, did you say?
Yeah, Mauser from like Mario 2.
Oh, yeah.
The mouse with the sunglasses that throw the bombs at you.
Oh, yeah. Now I know who you're talking about. First, I'm like, Mauser? Bowser? What the?
No, Mouser.
Yeah.
Mouser. A Mouser like TMNT robots.
Yeah,
Same
I
name.
got,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got it.
He got it. He got it. He saw him. It was in the movie.
Yeah, and I played Mario 2 as well.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
at
that's a
first,
little mouse that throws things.
but it was just at first Bowser, they sound very similar. And,
Oh yeah. He
and
was also in the Super Show, and I think that was really confusing because they always called him King Koopa in the Super Show. But then the closest thing to the word Bowser was when Mauser was working for him.
so like I said, I've played number 2, and it was just when you said it at first, it's not like he's a guy that you hear about a lot.
Yeah, not unless you're like in Mario, like fan circles or whatever.
I'm back.
Bowser's actually like really popular in Mario fan circles, but if you're not in them, you're not going to hear his name. Or I mean, maybe recently, just because there were a lot of people that were happy that he was in the Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
But that would have been a short blip. That would have come and gone.
Yeah. Oh,
By the way, I remember when I heard that last Ronin movie was canceled. Why didn't what was that? Why did that comic sell? Because I still ain't read that comic, the last Ronin. I'm thinking about TMNT at the moment. Like what was the gimmick of that comic?
I read a little bit of it.
Like I know one turtle survived in the future, and then it turned out to be Mikey. I'm like, okay, well, like what I'm getting.
It was just supposed to be gritty. That was it. It was just
Like that. It's supposed to be like
a
Old Man
gritty
Logan, but with
action
Ninja Turtles.
more or less. I mean, it was
just do that
pretty good. I would say it was written really well for what it was. It's just not exactly what I want from a Turtles comic. It was my bigger problem. Like I probably would have liked it more if it was an original property.
Because from the concept, it just sounds just like Old Man Logan, but with Ninja Turtles and Mikey.
And it's probably, well, I think they chose Mikey because it's the last one that you would expect it to be.
Yeah, the subversion.
Mm. That was like they did Old Man Logan, but with Mikey. I'm like,
I don't even know I would say Old Man Logan. Maybe in the same general category, but it didn't actually have a lot of overlap with it, from what I read.
mm. Old Man Logan was Mark Millar, so obviously there's tons of incest and cannibalism. So obviously that wasn't going to be in the last run. This is not Mark Millar.
Well, I was even saying like just the general concepts. It really didn't hit the same as Logan did.
But the Todd's setup for Old Man Logan cause me to shake my head. Like Mysterio somehow tricks Wolverine to killing the rest of the X-Men. Like how
I never liked Logan.
Old man Logan. That doesn't make sense. Like Like at least the movie changed it to make more sense. Which is Professor X had a seizure and that killed everybody at the X Mansion. That made more sense than what the comic did. Like, how does Wolverine trick Mysterio into killing all the rest of the X Men? Like, how's that even doable with somebody like Storm? I don't get it. This doesn't make sense.
Oh, well,
Like, it's like you have like Omega level mutants here. I'm like, excuse me, Wolverine can kill all
I
all
can't
of
tell
them.
you. I don't like the story.
Like,
I've never liked the story. I don't even, I mean, even with the changes, I don't like the movie as much as people do.
yeah. Well, I haven't read the comic, but I wasn't really a big fan of the movie either. I
Also,
knew it was
the comic had Wolverine fight inbred Hulk family because in that universe the Hulk became evil and that's forced himself upon She-Hulk, creating these mutant incest babies who are cannibals because Mark Millar.
Yeah, that's just what he always does.
This is what he always does. Like, that's lots of dumb stuff like that. Like, what I don't understand why Mark Millar just puts that in all of his stories. Just look at Ultimate Marvel.
That's all I can say is that he clearly likes it. He's never
Like,
talked
just
about
look
it
at
in
Ultimate Marvel.
interviews.
Everybody who's big and strong is a cannibal, and people having incest a lot.
It's
Doing
one of the
incest
things
a
I
lot.
really hate about Ultimate Marvel. I can't stand Ultimate Marvel. I don't understand how anybody was into it. You're not going to find a supportive opinion about Ultimate Marvel Universe from me.
Like, why is Hulk a cannibal in Ultimate Marvel? Well, like this has like
because it's edgy.
Like, I don't. But
that's simply
like,
it. Because it's edgy.
It's like he got Hulk mixed up with Venom for some reason. It's like, what the hell? Like, it's like why is Scarlet Witch banging Quicksilver?
I don't think it's because he got it mixed up. Because every single big thing became a cannibal. It wasn't just.
I know every single. It was just how every
Green
single
Goblin
big thing became a cannibal. Even with this fat guy name, I forgot what's his name.
Blob
X-Men
became
the Blob. Even Blob became a cannibal.
Yeah. Though, if you're gonna do anything edgy with a character, he's the one it makes the most sense to do it with.
Exactly. That made more sense.
Still, I don't like it.
Doing with the Hulk didn't make any sense at all. And then also Quicksilver is banging Scarlet Witch for some reason because edgy. I think that doesn't even make any sense. Like,
the
why?
whole thing was they were just trying to get popular with teenagers. That was like the whole point of it. They were trying to bring in the younger crowd, specifically teenagers, and teenagers like edgy stuff.
Yeah, like I don't get I don't get like Quicksilver bang.
And that was more just the Avengers they did all that with. The other books weren't so bad.
I've never read anything from the Ultimates aside from Spider-Man that wasn't edgy. But even Spider-Man had edgy stuff in it with his villains. It just wasn't Spider-Man himself that was edgy.
Yeah, because they made Hank Pym into an awful, horrible human being who tortures his wife all the time.
Again, Avengers, not Spider-Man,
Ultimate,
X-Men.
sorry.
Yeah, well, same
Mm.
diff.
Yeah, but you would have Hank would fall under the Avengers umbrella in that
Yeah,
area. So.
Avengers. He's on Avengers, yeah, and then it's in the Ultimate Avengers. Hank Pym was a monster who just tortures his own wife all the time, and treats like crap.
Though to be fair to the people who wrote it, which I'm not trying to be fair to them, that's probably just how they saw him anyway. A lot of people for years have always said that he's just an abuser of his wife, so they just exaggerated it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, also the thing is that was a whole in the original comics. That was a whole mistake. They never meant for that to happen.
Yeah,
No,
Uh,
I think that might be more accurate of Mr. Fantastic than Hank. So
ah, no, I
there's
definitely think
where
Hank is more unintentionally abusive than Reed is.
mm, I think Miss Smith. Yeah, I think that's more accurate to Mr. Fantastic than Ant-Man.
I still wouldn't think it's accurate of him though, not until way later.
Um, I mean, maybe not till way later. I mean, even the early comics. I mean,
No,
even the
I don't
early
think I would
comics.
represent him as being abusive towards Sue in the early comics. At least not intentionally. There might be things that you could read as it, but that definitely was not the intent on how they were writing the scenes.
He doesn't. He's not physically abusive, but at the same time,
No,
still
I'm even talking about
pretty
like
much a dick.
socially or emotionally. Like the
Yeah,
intent
still
isn't
kind of
there.
okay. Like still,
Of course, also in the
yeah.
very early comics, they didn't know what they were doing with the Fantastic Four. They were feeling their way through it, right? Like
Mm,
sometimes Ben was trying to get with Sue in the early comics
uh,
because they had it. They
yeah.
hadn't established everybody's um, relationships and stuff yet.
Mm. In the very first issue of X-Men, Charlie Xavier wanted to bang Jean Grey, but
Yeah,
she was right, just arrived at school.
the way they
Yeah,
handled it, it
what?
was it was very much the way that Stan Lee handled his writing practice. Is a lot of the early parts of runs for almost any character were basically experimenting with the characters until they found out how they actually wanted to use them. Now, Fantastic Four, I think, lasted a lot longer before they figured it out. Because I don't really feel like it's until around 50 issues in that they really establish the dynamics between the characters. Though that's not saying to skip 50 issues in. I think the series is fun from the very beginning. Some of my favorite stuff is before that part. But around like 50 issues is where the Fantastic Four really start becoming the type of dynamic you're used to seeing from the Fantastic Four.
Mm. Now, because with X-Men, like X-Men are I think from the very early issues, like the entire male part of the team just wanted to bang Sue, but want Jean Grey. The entire
And to be
male.
fair, I mean, it's
they're all
Jean.
teenage, and they're all
She's a
teenagers.
Marvel, you know? Like,
No. It's not even just them. Professor X2 or some like.
yeah, but like Jean's hot, so.
It's like,
Yeah, she's drawn that way. To quote Jessica.
Miss Rabbit?
Yeah.
Or I guess Mrs. Rabbit specifically. She's married. That's where she got the name from. And I guarantee you, she is definitely the type of girl that would correct you. It's Mrs. She loves her husband.
no. Yeah, but like.
I need to rewatch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I haven't watched it this year.
No, I'm thinking about how many characters have been permanently changed by Bendis? Like, because I know he made Iceman gay, but also right, what else? What other character he permanently changed forever? Like,
I don't
hmm.
know. Like, I'd have to go through a whole list,
And I don't,
and
and
I
you
don't
don't care
wanna.
to. I
Yeah.
don't
Because the
wanna.
the problem is like then it's gonna make me think about things I don't want to think about. I'm happier just forgetting about all of this stuff. All these characters are dead to me.
Yeah,
Well, in the future versions of them, I could go back in the past and I can enjoy versions of them I like, but they're basically dead to me. I had the
Yeah,
funeral. I'll remember the good times.
because what you want to know what Bendis is known for, which is just uh, lots of dialogue, changing, dramatically changing characters and dramatic into something unrecognizable.
Yeah, but that's the other
but
problem is he's just the one who's getting the most heat for it. But there's so many people that are responsible for that exact same thing, contemporary to him. And if anything, you got to actually blame the editors because they're the ones with the final say in anything.
yep,
Like he created his cool little scene and had her bang Power Man,
yeah.
and like it's
Okay,
like
well,
that's kind of like a that's kind of like one of those things like we create a character and then have her sleep with well established superhero.
Yeah.
Off the bat,
Oh,
my God.
Outcast was asking, wasn't it an accidental slap?
yeah,
If we're thinking of the same one, then yes.
yeah. In the
And I'm assuming
original,
you were thinking of the same one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in the original,
Mainline universe.
yeah,
And then the ultimate Marvel got him spraying Janet Van Dyne bug spray and stuff. Whatnot.
yeah, because they just went 1000% in on it,
Mm-hmm.
which, like he said, to be edgy, instead of correcting the mistake, they
Yeah, but they try to turn every character into like this ultra corrupted copy, like ultra to the extreme, to the absolute extreme. So
but
like like I think I'm not sure of this, but I think Ultimate Wolverine might have been a pedophile. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I ain't going back.
no.
I ain't going
Couldn't
back.
tell you. I don't even want to think about it.
As far as well, I read the Ultimate X-Men, and as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't. From what I got,
There's
very
also a
easily.
specific definition of that word too. So,
Oh, no, no, I ain't really read the Ultimate X-Men stuff. I think I
like,
read
I know
some Ultimate stuff a long time
Wolverine
ago.
has canonically banged underage women, but I did not prepubescent because unfortunately these characters have gone long enough that horrible things have been added to their resumes, right? When going through a character's like mind space with telepathy, uh, there was a room that was opened where it revealed that Doreen Green, Squirrel Girl, and Wolverine had relations back when she would have been 16.
Uh, I thought on the Ultimate Marvel.
No, I'm just saying in general, it's like that's not that weird for Wolverine's character,
Oh,
unfortunately.
no, no. That's not really a big deal.
Okay, Rick, how is Snowdrift number 2 coming along, and Canadian Shield number 4? Well,
That's a
Cana-
much better conversation. I would rather talk about that.
yes. Well, Snowdrift 2, unfortunately, isn't coming as fast as I would like. I think we're on page 5 or maybe 6. Thing I am been coloring up page 4, I think, on my channel on Saturdays.
Mhm.
As for uh Canadian Shield number 4, of course, it is written. Raul will be drawing it, but before that comes out, he will be doing the Flame number 1. which will be being done as a crowdfunding after Snowdrift 2 is done and out. And of course, right now, especially, I'm in a bit of a freeze for even, well, whatchamacallit is doing some stuff. But right now my job is up in the air, so. But that is
Time.
the current state of things. I know it's technically time, but I want to finish.
Okay, just letting you know
Yeah.
in case you lost track. He says he hasn't seen Raul on your channel in quite a while.
Yeah, Rule's been going through a bit too, so. He was out of job and he's having to move and stuff like that as well. I don't want to go into too much more than that. Because he doesn't want a lot known, so I'm just trying to respect his privacy as much as I can. Well,
He says that's why he hasn't posted on his channel, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be one of the reasons, yeah.
I'm not sure whether he's been on the normal show. I haven't checked. He has a show that he's usually on Friday nights / Saturday mornings. So there's definitely a lot of cleanup online that I would need to do, but overall, except for the fact that I don't have a name for him, probably the best thing I've heard is Plumber at Arms.
Yeah, which came to you independently by two different people, so there
Yeah.
seems to be the closest thing to a consensus we've gotten so far.
So overall, colored in now with colors tight. What do you guys think?
Manageable.
Let's see what Outcast might have to say. Last time I saw him was on Omar Glitch's channel. Oh, okay. When was that? Although there's a couple other projects that I'd like to do. I have another project that's probably going to be being worked on after the first weekend in June. I have a script written for Toxico, the villain of issue 2 of Snow.
Oh yeah, okay. This is the one I thought you were going to be talking about.
Yeah. That should be. I have somebody drawing that up, and so I'll probably be coloring that. That will probably be a project that's. It might be. I'm not. That'll get a crowdfunding. I'm just not sure where exactly. So that should be a. And actually, I gotta get with you at some point. But then again, I gotta have money to pay you too. I still owe you for the the work for number one.
Yeah, well, Rick, I think that all depends on how much credit, how much of a tab you want to build up.
Yeah.
Because I do see doing this stuff as important, so I'm willing to build up a tab. That's a personal choice
Yeah, yeah.
on your part.
Well, also, I'm not sure how much whether you want. I wasn't sure whether you'd be willing for that either. So, but
Well, Rick, I already give you allowances I don't give other people, so.
yeah. Well, still, you only give, even with me, you'd only give so much allowance too.
Yeah, but listen, I don't really talk about finances between other people for to compare whatever. But if I were to compare the allowances I give you to other people, you'd probably be shocked how much you get.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you let me decide a lot of things, and I ask,
Yeah.
And if you ever want it more, you just have to let me know, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be cheap. In some ways, I don't know what the best rate for certain things are or whatever. So it's just page rates. I'm slowly getting to know that.
Well, to be fair, almost nobody knows what editing rates are outside of people who actually charge for it. There are industry standards and anything, but it's just not something anybody's aware of, and people don't even go out of their way to look into it.
Yeah. Say no more, Rick. But what? Possibly. Thing. I like the concept that it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I guess for Omar. And what concept do you like? But yeah, it's the script actually for Toxico came about because I wrote what I consider a movie script for Canadian Shield, and I was planning on doing the Toxico thing all myself, but an opportunity came up for somebody to do it that I couldn't pass up. Get away with it. Say no more. Get away with as much as you can until you can't. Yeah, but you also don't. But you also do not want to take advantage of your friends.
You don't want to burn bridges either,
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So those are the projects I have in the works. I have other stuff. And actually, I should probably start working on a couple minor of them ones. I'd like to do, like I said, the Proverbs thing. I'd like to get the Bible stories done, lesser known Bible stories done. So, yeah, and I was actually thinking maybe trying to do the same treatment that I thought about with Proverbs to the Psalms. I'm not sure whether it'd be as easy or not, but anyways, with that all said, I know I'm gonna ask. I know the answer, but anything you'd like to promote, Fitzchosa?
I would like to promote the Roman Prim episode 1 subtitles again because I did not receive any comments at all, so I assume nobody watched it
for
again.
you.
Yeah.
There you go. It was actually easy to grab since I just Googled it last time. All I had to do was type Roman Crim in my URL bar and it auto-completed to it, so.
Cass says Plumber at Arms, and he says, I like how it looks like the helmet heavy on him. Okay, not what I intended, but sure. Okay, and Metal, anything you'd like to promote?
Oh yeah, just go over to xdynamuschaos.com, check out all the things I got. I did upload another section of the manual, the basics section, the official section 1. There's technically an introduction before that is uploaded to the site now, so you can view the beta version of the basics if you're interested. Some of it sounds confusing. I'll probably figure out better wording later on after we play some of the game, because I'll probably figure out how to word it better after we play it. But it's actually a lot simpler than it looks. It's just a little complex, but I think anybody could get it. And that's there. I'm working on character creation now, so that's kind of like where we're at.
And dumb question, more for me and for the people out there. When do you think there might be a time for a playable
I
version?
am getting this done as fast as I can. Hopefully, I at least have this book, like the main player's manual, done by the end of the month. That is the goal I'm aiming for. Whether I hit it, I don't know, but that is the goal.
So you would like to maybe mid-June play a small campaign, or
I'm planning on also writing an introductory, like, one shot, something that would be akin to getting a like out of the box prefab campaign that you might pick up at a store for D&D or whatever. I plan on making that for one of the settings, and we're going to play through it. That's what we're going to do. I'll even have some prefab characters, but that's just because I'm making a whole prefab one shot. You guys will definitely be playing your own characters, because I need to show off custom characters. So I won't even let you play the prefab characters that I'm making.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, I know we're supposed to, once you get this stuff done, go through it on stream or whatever, or to do
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll stream as many of the players in the game making their characters as possible, like the ones that want to. If we get more than one, that would be cool. I just talked to you about it first because I knew if anybody would be cool with it, it would be the guy who's on stream all the time anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So with all that said, thank you Fitzjoseph for coming on. Thank you Metal for coming on. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming by. It's been great having everybody here talking. I'm glad you guys like my Luigi Man-at-Arms combination. I guess we'll call him Plumber at Arms for now. And I guess
I'm imagining running to battle with a plunger. That's all it's on picturing. It's a guy running to battle with a plunger.
Mario Luigi's done it before. Why not, right?
Yeah.
I guess that gives him the name Duncan Mario.
I guess.
Since it's Mario's supposed to be Mario's last name as well as his first name, and Luigi.
They're the Mario brothers, right? So it's like.
So, guess he is Luigi Mario or Duncan Mario. We're Duncan Mario. I'm not sure what we're dunking him in, but Anyways, hopefully we'll catch you all tomorrow night when I should be drawing up one of the great Cyclopean characters from Hero Shack, and we should be having them on. I actually have to message them to remind them. Because they're in the middle of a campaign right now for the Great Cyclopean number 10. So we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow night when we have them on. So we'll catch y'all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be for you. Love you all.